getting the deal even without stepping into the house.
But first, let's hit it. Hi, it's Ali Victoria. Welcome to our Talent Podcast.
And if this is your first time in our podcast and YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and get notified.
Honestly, call text all the time at 252-327-3357. We love talking to you. Do not be shy. Also, don't forget to get our buyer's guide and seller's guide in the description below because we have lots of information in there for you. Now, Let's talk about buying a home because we've actually done it not once, twice, buying a home
before COVID and during the COVID.
Yeah, but without ever walking into it. What were the things that we used in order to buy the home? And then also we're going to tell you research that we do, other things that we can say you should be doing if you really are buying a home without stepping inside.
Exactly. And for many of you that you are not an investor, you're first time home buyer, is going to be very intimidating at first, but stay tuned because we wanted to unpack some material and give you the confidence and also enough knowledge to be able to do that risk, if you call it risk, to step into the house that you wanted to buy.
Right. No, I'm going to say, of course, you should look at the photos. I'm not telling you shouldn't look at the photos and the videos. You absolutely should. But do not fall in love with just, oh, wow, this house looks so amazing because you've never stepped inside. I would say that there's other things that you need to be paying attention to more in those details. Like, for instance, how old is the home? How old is the roof? How old are the windows? How old is the HVAC? Because those are, how old is the water heater? Those are big ticket items.
What is going on in foundation if it's in the crawl space?
If it's a crawl space or basement, absolutely. But you don't get to that to inspections.
Exactly.
But when you're looking at a home online, you can see the square footage, the year it's built. If they have made any improvements to the house, it will tell you a lot of that information right up front. So I would be paying attention and have a list of what you want in your home. Do you want a new home? Do you want something that is not new, but it has all these features like new? Because let's be honest, if you can say, oh, I have friends who can fix things, let's be honest, they don't come and fix things. So you're going to be stuck with the house, and if you cannot afford to fix it, then you're stuck with a bad house. And you don't want to be stuck with a bad house. You will get stuck with more money, more problems. It's not good. So what we want to do is make sure that you're finding a home that you can live in, that you're happy in. So again, those details that we were talking about, at least have those to be like, yeah, but the house is 1985 and they never changed the roof. That's a problem.
Exactly.
Even if the pictures are gorgeous.
Therefore, definitely beyond the value that you see online, you need to go to this item, research what are the challenges are with the status of the house, and then how really your realtor can help you to figure out all these items that are questionable.
We literally had our realtor on our phone jumping up and down on every step so we could hear if those steps creak. Even though we were not in the house, we had her walk in the house on the FaceTime with us, telling us what she sees and if were there any noises that those stairs were making.
Squeaky noises.
Squeaky noises. We wanted to know what was happening in that house. That way we feel as confident as possible. Were the subfloors okay? We had her literally jump, which is crazy, but it is what we wanted to know that this house was in good condition before we bought it.
Now, let's look at the steps for spotting a deal from your laptop at your home. Right. Therefore, one of the most important that all real estate is about is location. Because you are just not a home buyer, you are an investor, not just for you, for all of your family, including your kids or anybody that is related to you. Therefore, location is one of the most important factor and you need to pay attention to, which needs really some research about that. You need to know a little bit about the neighborhood, or if you have somebody in the morning or in the evening can drive into neighborhood, see if the neighborhood is safe where you wanted to buy. Do you want to add anything else?
No, I think you're talking about a lot of good things. You can, if you don't know anybody, you can obviously, maybe you're like, oh, this realtor's just trying to get a deal from me. That's obviously not a good realtor. If you feel that person is just out there to get you, you should have a confidence in who you're using. So I would definitely look at, hey, do I like this person? Are they answering my questions? All of that fun stuff. Make sure that you are getting, you're not just Google Earthing, because if you're buying a new construction and there's no Google Earth to look at, well, then you can't trust Google Earth.
Exactly.
If you're buying in a pre-existing neighborhood, of course, Google Earth is going to give us a little bit better of what the neighborhood looks like, but it's not perfect.
Exactly. Therefore, what is the suggestion is really?
I would do Google Maps and Google Earth, absolutely. But I would also talk to the real estate agent that you trust, like us, right?
Exactly.
Talk to people who you trust and make sure that they're giving you their honest answer. Because I would rather, my clients know that I would rather be honest with them and find them the right home than sell them a bad home.
Exactly. Therefore, one of the like a basic tool keys is virtual house tours, no?
Mm-hmm.
And
So I was
also
telling you about the
definitely
jumping.
you can with the Google Earth that you can do it on your laptop. You can also ask the realtor that does for you the video tour from the house, and at least on the camera you can see some of the stuff you need visually to see, no?
Right, and your realtor can tell you what's going on in the property disclosures that you don't necessarily see online, but the real estate agent is going to have an access to those property disclosures, so they can tell you is what repairs have been done to the house, what are the potential things that the big ticket items that I talked about, HVAC,
Okay.
water heater, windows and roofs, those are all can be problems. When were they last replaced? And if it's not there, that can be a problem unless it's new. So you should know those things.
And beside of that, you need to know if it's new construction or the new area, is there any future development is there? And if there is a future development, what is the timeline is, what is the time window is? Is going to affect your property value or not? And also in the house itself, you need definitely ask about the property tax or the house is in the flood zone area. These are all is going to affect your home value and the future when you wanted to basically get more appreciation and home equity from that home.
Now, when you are buying a home, you want to get a good deal, of course, especially if you're a first-time home buyer.
Exactly.
Right? So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're staying aware and you're fully informed and your pre-approval is solid and you are talking to your lender because you understand you want a smooth process. You have done this pre-approval because you know now all the paperwork is already there. They've actually run you through underwriting, not just an automated system, so they know that you're going to be okay when you make a purchase on a home, because in North Carolina, you are going to lose a due diligence fee, which can be thousands of dollars. So make sure that you understand that.
And also from the price point of view, you definitely need to ask your realtor that you're talking to run some comps, meaning that is basically pulling all those property that sold the last 6 to 12 months. I mean, I prefer 6 months, not 12 months, because the prices changed drastically from last year to this year. And basically see in that neighborhood, like up to 1.5 miles, what houses they sold and what is the value of these homes is.
No, also, I would recommend if you're buying a home, make sure that you have your list of essentials that you absolutely have to have. So when we were buying online in places that we never lived in, cross country, what we would do is I would say I would go on Great Schools, niche.com, say these are the school zones I want to live in.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And then my husband would say, how old is the house? Because I'm not buying a house more than such and such a date. Like, he doesn't want to buy a house more than so many years old, unless everything has been rehab. That is a different question as well. So you have to look at cold, hard facts. What are your absolute essentials? It has to be in a school zone. It has to be a certain age for my husband. Those are our two essentials. And then if we can find things that match our two essentials.
Really? The reason is you are financing this home, most of you. You're financing this, and you don't want it to come up with the big ticket items like buying a house now you need to replace the roof. No, that's a big ticket item. You cannot afford that. And then that's why you need to pay attention to all these details, no?
Right. So it's not just how pretty is the pictures, because sometimes pictures can be deceiving. Sometimes they're dark because someone took it with their phone.
Yeah,
It's not good, but it's actually a great house. On the other side, it can be amazing pictures, but the house is all wrong on all the other levels. So we really stuck to our guns every single time of these are the school zones, this is the age of the house that we want it to be.
Amenities and basically, as we said, the importance of assessing the long-term maintenance, which I was talking about, the cost that comes with that.
Right, so it's not just going to be the aesthetics, which is what we're saying. Now, virtual tours are easier these days. We have FaceTime, we have Zoom. Zoom wasn't around when we first did it. It was just FaceTime. But it's a video walkthrough. I can see the entire home. I'm looking at the home. I can have my real estate agent or myself now, if you're living in Greenville, literally do whatever it is that you want to do. You want to hear how do the drawers close? Is it a soft or a hard pull? I need to know those things. You need to know those things. So
Exactly.
therefore, you need to know. So and
that's
then,
why you need to do the really virtual house inspection if you want, which is one of the key elements to consider.
And then remember, we are going to have inspections after we buy the home, after we put that due diligence fee. But again, in North Carolina, due diligence is non-refundable, so that is a big issue. But a lot of people are making this decision remotely these days. It's
Exactly.
100% happening. It's apparently 15 to 20% of the population now. It's growing. When we first started, that was like 5, so it's a growing trend. We've been part of it since the beginning, so we know how to help people doing that all the time. We've helped tons of out-of-state home buyers as a result.
Exactly, and definitely be cautious about suspicious deals or property. Like some people, they call us and they say, "Oh, I found this deal from this website," and I don't know even that website is legitimate for you to looking at the property that doesn't even exist. It's off of the market.
Yeah, but at least they called a local agent and we go, "Yeah, that's not a real listing. Don't fall for the scammers." Like, so there's always that danger of it too. Stick to the legit websites or our own where we can help you.
Well, in
AlanVictoriaPinder.com.
the conclusion, really, we wanted to talk about importance of informed making decision process to really handle in a good way your remote home buying. No?
Right. So, I mean, you have to trust who you're working with. You have to make sure that you're making smart decisions, and you have your list of essentials that you absolutely have to have. So when you're finding the deal, and let me tell you, when we first moved to Pittsburgh, we were like, well, we're not buying a house because we found one that kind of matched all of our things. We wanted to make a deal. We were like, no, we're not doing that. We'll just go rent. And then we ended up getting the deal that we wanted because we stuck to our guns of no. Because this is the price of what it's going to be, because we had done the math, and we ended up getting the house, but it wasn't something that we were so attached to. It was a great house. We loved it, don't get me wrong, but we really did our research on what I told you, school zones and his essentials of how old that house had to be. So stick to your guns on your essentials, understand what your research is, and believe in your research, and then what the prices should be based on your actual numbers.
And of course, don't forget to call Alan Victoria or visit us at alanvictoria.com or call us at 252-327-3357. And of course, again, support our channel and podcast by subscribing in it.